Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. Thank you so much for stopping by. Y'all got some good news. I'm so excited. Let me turn the camera around and show you my good news. Do y'all see anything different? Look at my tunnel and there is no shade cloth. It's completely off. So excited. I've been working in my office all day. I've been back to back in meetings literally for 6 hours. And my husband sent me a picture of my shade cloth. My husband came out here today while I was in there working and took the shade cloth off. I don't know how he got it done. He was out here by himself, but he got it done and I am so thankful. But let's take this on inside the tunnel because it's a little nippy out here. Let's take this inside where it's a little bit warmer. So I know it may not seem like a big deal, but it's a big deal to me because this is the first time since we had our tunnel, which has been 3 years. We got our tunnel in October 2020. So for 3 years, and we've never taken the shade cloth off. I just started wanting to like a year ago because again, I'm learning, I'm new. I didn't even know you're supposed to take it off. But my husband was like, I am not getting up top of there and taking that shade cloth off. And then I got to get on top of there and put it back on. I kept pressing the issue. I keep telling him it's better. The stuff will grow faster, all of that. Because what I found is that in the wintertime, my stuff grows really slow because the shade cloth is doing its job. It's protecting it a lot from the sun. But because the days are shorter and the sun is not as intense and it's surely not as hot, then they're growing, but they grow really slow. So these plants better get up and do something now that I've talked my husband into doing this. So for those that are brand new to me, welcome to all my shenanigans. I am in zone 7A. I'm in the state of Tennessee. By the time you guys see this video, I will be on the other side of the world. I will be in Australia. So I am doing as much content as I can so that you guys don't even have a chance to miss me. And just so that I can keep things moving. So we'll see how far I get. I got a few things in the queue. So at the time of this video, I leave in 4 days. So we still got some time. But by the time you see it, I will already be over there. So as you can see, we have the Australia hair. And so I've been talking about we're going out of the country. My husband, for those who don't know, if you're just now following me, my husband is in full-time ministry. He is going over there to preach and deliver the gospel. And I am over there with him. So if you see this video, please say a prayer for us. Preferably, we have made it there safely by the time you get this video, or we are very close. It is a 31-hour flight. So yeah, say a prayer. Say a prayer. But anyway, back to the present day. So my husband, that was one of the things on the list, was to get the shade cloth off. I didn't know if it would happen before we leave, but he surprised me and he got it done. So I'm so very thankful. And I cannot wait to see how this, y'all, it better help. Because that man gonna be like, you had me get up on top of there and do all that, and your plant's still growing slow. So let's pray that the plants grow fast. So let me give you an update on what's going on here from a temperature standpoint. So we have had freezing temperatures for the past 3 nights. Well, the first night was like 35. And then the last 2 nights have been like 25. So the tunnel has been closed up tight. Right now, it's probably, if I had to guess, like 55 degrees outside. It's 69 degrees in the tunnel, so it's considerably warmer. I'm going to close this door, though. It was like 90 degrees earlier in here. So it felt real warm and toasty, my husband said. And I think he just opened up the door to get some air circulation in. So yesterday I did not come down here. By the time I got home, it was like 5 o'clock. It was like 50 degrees. I was already cold. I was like, I am not going in there. So I haven't really been down here in about 48 hours in terms of doing anything. And today I had to come and see it with the shade cloth off. I'm so excited. But also I need to water because I haven't watered until before we knew that there was going to be a frost. And then also just walking around, seeing how things look. Everything in here should be, like I said, very frost hardy. So I was not really concerned about anything. You saw on a previous video that we got all the tomatoes that we had The plants are still up. They look pitiful, but we'll get the plants out and cut them down. But we got all the fruit off of them that we wanted right before the frost came. So all of that's good. And as I'm looking around, things look pretty good. I'm going to give everything a good water and a good soak. And I'll show you how things are looking. I've walked around. Everything looks really good. There's nothing that looks bad at all. The only thing that I might have been concerned about was the lettuce, and I wouldn't even say concerned because it should be able to handle 25 degrees, especially in the tunnel. I don't know what the temperature was in here last night or for the past 2 nights, but everything looks good. No complaints. I'm looking at the row of carrots that I sowed. I see a few coming up, but they didn't get water in the past 2 days. So if they don't, that's on me. That's not on them. But I do see some coming up. I don't see the whole row, but we'll see what happens. If they germinate before I leave, then they should be in good shape. So a couple of things we have to do before we leave is the goal is to get the beds on drip. This other side back here is on drip. We don't like the drip system that we have in the beds, but we haven't been able to pull the trigger on a new one and get what we want. So these may have to do at least until the spring. So they still work, but they just drip out real, like it is minute how the water comes out. But that may be our best option. And then we need to put the same thing on these beds here. So I'll take you around, let you see what things are looking like. You can see this bed. This is the bed with the cabbage and the broccoli. It's moving slow, but now that we got our little handy dandy shade cloth off, maybe it won't. So trying to zoom in. I don't know if you can see, like there's a little bit of carrot coming up. It's hard to see. There's a little bit right there that you can see. So we got some germination. Hopefully the bed of carrots. We got some parsley in the back, but this is the bed of carrots and radishes that we already had sown about a month ago. They are doing good. I wonder, should I pull the radishes before let's go ahead and pull some radishes now. You guys told me to roast. I'm gonna roast some tonight. We're having Mexican, so I can put some on my nachos and see how it tastes. Okay, so I picked some last week. Let's see. Let's see if they've gotten any bigger. They're certainly a little bit bigger. Let's pick a couple more. Oh yeah, definitely bigger. Definitely bigger, for sure. So they're bigger than they were last week. So some of you guys told me that this was that this is the perfect size, I guess, maybe for this kind, that it can be as small as a cherry, but not bigger than a golf ball. That would fit that. But I know I've seen radishes bigger than this. Not the daikon, but like red radishes. Even in the store, aren't they bigger than this? I don't know because I don't buy them. But I know I've seen some bigger. So I will actually slice some of these up and roast them and do a taste test and see what they taste like. I've already grabbed me some lettuce and some cilantro, so I'll just add this to my little stash. This is the kale bed. It's all growing back. If you remember, about a month ago when I had the kids come out and they helped us with the outside garden, they pretty much took all the kale that I had. And so now it has grown back. It was looking pretty pitiful. I didn't know if it would grow back, but of course it's growing back. And I'm actually gonna grab some of this probably tomorrow, this weekend, for a nice yummy kale salad. I did a kale salad. Okay, so I got all my snapdragons in. I did this bed and that bed. I had a flat of 18. And I remember I bought some snapdragons last winter, and they, by the spring, they were so beautiful. Like, it was like just a nice spring surprise. So I thought I would do it again this year, is to get me some snapdragons. And they have a little bit of color now, and they're, you know, have already bloomed some. They'll go dormant a little bit and just stay green. And then come spring, they will really bloom and they'll be so, so pretty. You just wait and see. So in my area in zone 7, the things from a winter standpoint that we could do is alyssum, pansies, violas, snapdragons. Those are the only things that I know that will last through the winter. Obviously, you can do mums in the fall, but the mums don't last through the winter and the hard freeze, because the mums behind my house, I looked out the window, they look like they dead. They don't last. But in the tunnel, they should be fine. And again, it'll be my nice spring surprise with a lot of color. So I'm excited about that. So everything is looking good. No complaints. I watered everything in. So I'm about to shut it up for tonight. It's supposed to be, I want to say 34 tonight. So not freezing, but very, very close. And then I think starting in a couple of days, it'll turn. Why he wants to bark while I'm on this video, I don't know. It'll turn into like the 70s, and then, you know, we can open the tunnel back up. But for now, everything is cut, you know, put down, sides, back, front, and all of that. So thank you guys for joining me. I just wanted to share my good news with you about the shade cloth being off. Huge thank you to my husband. And then we were able to at least check on everything and get it watered in, since it hadn't been watered in about 48 hours. And then we got the snapdragons in. So that's A+. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope that things are going well on your side of the world. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend. Kale salad a couple of weeks ago, and I had to buy kale from the store. It was my first time doing a kale salad. I did it with like some lemon oil, lemon juice, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and massaged it like all together, and added like some cucumbers and some croutons. It was so, so good. I fed it to some people. They loved it, but I can only imagine what it's going to taste like when it's fresh kale from my garden. So I'm excited. So I'm going to try that this weekend with my own kale. And that way I'll cut it down and it can grow while I'm gone. And when I come back, I'll have more kale versus leaving it on here. I don't want it to bolt. And I think like the weather has been really, really cold, but it's supposed to, the weather has been cold, but it's supposed to warm back up starting, I think, in a couple of days. And then I know like next week, the first week that we're gone, it's like in the 70s. You never can tell with this weather. Thing here is good, looking good. I think there are collards in this bed. Remember, this was the mystery bed. Like I had done these in a 72 cell tray. I lost my label and I didn't know what was what, so I just planted it. So I think there's a lot of collards in here, which I've never grown collards in a raised bed, but I guess it can work. So I'm debating, do I just leave them in here? Or do I take them out and try to put them in the ground with the other collards? I think I'll just leave them and just let it be. It'll be an experiment that I wasn't even trying to experiment. Let me know if you've done collards in a raised bed before. This bed right here is bok choy, spinach, and broccoli. It is doing quite well. We have harvested at least, let me think, probably a good 8, maybe 10 bok choy from here already. So I wish I had some more bok choy. I'll have to start some more when I get back. But it has been so, so yummy and so, so good. So that bed is doing well. And then this last bed with my lettuce and cilantro, it's still not as filled out as I want it to be. It's going really, really slow. I have planted some seedlings. They've been slow to take off. So when I get back, if it's not bulking up, then I'll have to just start over and do some more lettuce seedlings and start, which we can grow lettuce all throughout, you know, the winter. So not a big deal. I just harvested some for dinner tonight. So I have some. It's just not lush and full like I want it to be. So one of the things that I'm going to do now is go ahead and part with my zinnias. Yeah, they're done. So we're going to take these out. These were some last ones that I planted and that bloomed. And so I was able to look at them and enjoy them the past month or so in the month of October. But this freeze they're done. So we'll take those. The Dusty Miller still looks good. So I'll leave the Dusty Miller. It still looks good. And I didn't know Maybe it is frost hardy. I guess so. I'm gonna plant this bed with some snapdragons, and that should make it during the winter months. Before I plant the snapdragons, I'm gonna add some potting soil to this bed just because it's kind of, it's lower than what I want it to be. I don't know that anything's been added, maybe not last year, but the year before that. So we'll add some so that it has some new soil, and also get it up to the level a little bit higher, because you know soil settles after a while. So that's like a whole bag. Let me get my trowel. So we'll spread this out. Nothing like some good new potting soil. And then I'll fertilize it too as well. These beds are normally used for flowers and herbs. I don't think I've ever grown like food or vegetables. You can. I just never have. It's always just for beauty, flowers, and my herb garden and things like that. Okay, I've added some nutrients to the soil, some alfalfa meal. I have the stuff, and so now we're going to plant our snapdragons. This is what they look like. These will make it through the winter, and then come spring, they're gonna bloom and be so pretty and bring me so much joy. So I'm just gonna keep planting these all the way around. Okay, so I got all my snapdragons in. I did this bed and that bed. I had a flat of 18, and I remember I bought some snapdragons last winter, and they, by the spring, they were so beautiful. Like, it was like just a nice spring surprise. So I thought I would do it again this year, is to get me some snapdragons. And they have a little bit of color now, and they're, you know, have already bloomed some. They'll go dormant a little bit and just stay green, and then come spring they will really bloom, and they'll be so pretty. You just wait and see. So in my area in zone 7, the things from a winter standpoint that we could do is alyssum, pansies, violas, snapdragons. Those are the only things that I know that will last through the winter. Obviously you can do mums in the fall, but the mums don't last through the winter and the hard freeze, because the mums behind my house, I looked out the window and they look like they dead. They don't last. But in the tunnel they should be fine, and again, it'll be my nice spring surprise with a lot of color. So I'm excited about that. So everything is looking good. No complaints. I watered everything in. So I'm about to shut it up for tonight. It's supposed to be, I want to say 34 tonight. So not freezing, but very close. And then I think starting in a couple of days, it'll turn. Why he wants to bark while I'm on this video, I don't know. It'll turn into like the 70s, and then, you know, we can open the tunnel back up. But for now, everything is cut, you know, put down, sides, back, front, and all of that. So thank you guys for joining me. I just wanted to share my good news with you about the shade cloth being off. Huge thank you to my husband. And then we were able to at least check on everything, get it watered in, since it hadn't been watered in about 48 hours. And then we got the snapdragons in. So that's A+. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope that things are going well on your side of the world. And remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.